The holidays are here. The sweet scent of pine in the living room is stirring the senses and filling our brains full of nostalgia. We remember the times we bundled up against the bone-numbing cold. We loaded into the station wagon and headed downtown to see the holiday displays in the store windows. Old Blue Eyes and our favorite crooners serenade us with big brassy jingles on the radio. The glitter of festive lights illuminated the falling snow, and the wet streets were a glossy canvas of Christmas color. We waited to impart our secrets to Santa in the hopes that he would bring us our favorite toys. Our faces were joyful and radiant. Our homes were warm and full of cheer. Let's celebrate the good times with a great kit full of retro vibes. Didn't that bring back some beautiful childhood memories? Now, my Christmases were a little different growing up because I grew up in Australia, and our Christmas happened in the middle of summer, very similar to Florida. But Christmases are magical no matter where you are. And I couldn't resist putting together that beautiful imagery. Those words were sent to me by the Flex company, and they were enclosed with a package that came with a mystery design kit. Obviously, it's going to be a Christmas theme, and by the time you see this video, it will have already been revealed by the Flex company on their Facebook group page. They wait until the last Wednesday of every month to reveal their kits, and that just adds to the whole surprise factor. And I absolutely love that because it feels like you're opening up some kind of a gift, a birthday gift, a Christmas gift. Now, before we go any further, let me remind you about the timestamps down below in the description section of this video. I know some of you are here for the tutorial and you don't necessarily want to watch the intro. Now, if you're not familiar with the Flex company, I'll leave a link down below to their website so you can go check it out. Basically, the Flex company is a small family-owned business based out of California. They specialize in beading wire, beads, findings, and so many other things. And of course, they also carry the monthly mystery design kit. It comes out every month and it retails for $32.95, and it includes everything that you need to make several projects, minus the tools, of course. Each kit is curated based on a theme by the staff of the Flex company, and on the last Wednesday of every month at 3 p.m., they do a live Facebook video where they actually unwrap the kit for that month and make a project right on camera. So if you want a little bit of inspiration or you want to find out more about each release, I encourage you to join their Facebook group. But anyway, I'll leave a link to their website as well as their Facebook group down in the description of this video. Also, keep in mind that the kit I'll be showing you today may be sold out by the time you see this video. They do sell quickly. Okay, everybody, I've done enough talking. I can't wait to see what's in this kit. We're going to unbox the kit and then we're going to make something with the contents of the kit. So let's go ahead, turn the camera around and we'll get started. Here it is, and as you can see, it's definitely a Christmas theme. They always do such a great job of wrapping their mystery design kits. Let's have a look. The name of the kit is Retro Christmas, and here are all the contents. As you can see, it looks like we get some soft flex, some stretch magic, some Turquoise, some Jesse James beads, Czech glass. I can't wait to see what's inside. And on the back is a $5 off coupon and a little bit of information about the Design Kit Challenge. It says join us on the Flex Company Facebook group or YouTube channel on November 24th at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the live Design Kit Challenge. From November 24th through December 27th, post pictures of your designs made with this kit in our Flex VIB Studio Facebook group with the hashtag retro and enter to win our next kit. Winner is chosen at random. So that's something to look forward to if you buy this kit. And here's a little card with the website and the phone number. And on the back is a little bit more information on the Design Kit Challenge. So anyway, let's go ahead and see what's in this gorgeous kit. And I love what I'm seeing so far. These look like candy, but I know they're probably beads, but they do look delicious, don't they? Let's go ahead and open it. Oh my goodness, look how pretty these beads are. Look at this gorgeous bead mix by Jesse James Beads. Oh my gosh. And we got this gorgeous red colored soft flex beading wire. Let's go through each item. And here are the strands. Aren't they gorgeous? I like that they included red and green, but it's not your traditional Christmassy red and green. And I love that they included some turquoise as well. So this first one is a strand of red Czech glass faceted rondelles. They're 8mm in size and the color is red travertine. It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful shade of red. I would say it's more like an orangey red, but you can see the dark modeling. Isn't it gorgeous? I love travertine finishes. They're so pretty. And the 8mm size is very nice to work with. I love using that size. Then we have this strand here. These are Czech fire polished rondelles, and they're 5mm in size, and the color is champagne. But this champagne color is a little bit on the orangey side. To me, champagne is usually a little bit lighter in color. But anyway, as you can see, they have a gorgeous AB finish. Very pretty, and I love this size. And here we have a strand of Czech glass faceted discs. The color is light green, and they're 8mm in size. And these are discs because they have squared off edges, as you can see. They're not rondelles. But this is such a pretty shade of green, and I love that they're so transparent. So pretty. And here we have a strand of Czech glass. They call them Diamond Turbans, Turbans. And the color is turquoise with gold. They're so different. I don't think I've seen this shape before, but I absolutely love it. It's so pretty. You can see the gold in the crevices. So anyway, I know I'm going to have some fun with these gorgeous colors. And here we have a couple of ceramic candy cane beads. Aren't they cute? They're so adorable. Oh my gosh. And once again, it's not that bright red. It's more of a muted red, I would say. Let me show you how they're drilled. As you can see, they're top drilled. And these would make an adorable pair of earrings, don't you think? Very cute. And here we have some Czech glass faceted drops, and the color is champagne fire. Aren't they gorgeous? They're the same color as the rondelles that I showed you a few moments ago. So it is a little bit confusing when you read the description because it says champagne fire polish. Initially I thought it was champagne fire because it's such a rich champagne color, but I'm pretty sure the color is champagne, even though it's a very orangey kind of champagne color. So anyway, these are 8 by 20mm in dimension, so they're a nice big size. And here they are on my rod. As you can see, they're drilled down the middle. And I can tell these are great quality because right where the hole is very smooth. That's one way you can tell. But anyway, these are absolutely gorgeous. I love the color and I love the shape. And here we have some Stretch Magic, and I love using this for bracelets. Oh my gosh, I've used this so many times. It's 0.7mm thick, and we get 5 meters or 16 feet. And as you can see, it's a clear color. But anyway, guys, if you haven't used Stretch Magic, you don't know what you're missing out on. This is definitely very strong and very good quality stretch cord, and you can make quite a few bracelets with 5 meters. And here is the soft flex beading wire. The color is red coral. Look at that beautiful red color, guys. Oh my gosh. And as you can see, it's medium weight, and the test strength is 26 pounds. The diameter is 0.48 of a millimeter, and we get 10 feet or 3 meters. And it does say down here 49 strands, so that makes it very supple. Now it says here that it's stainless steel nylon coated, and you can apparently tie knots with it, but I've never done that before. So anyway, it's nice of them to include a spool of this beautiful soft flex beading wire. And of course, here we have a gorgeous Jesse James Beads Design Elements bead mix. The name of the bead mix is Vintage Christmas, and I can't wait to open it up. And oh my gosh, this is an explosion of color. Look how gorgeous this mix is. We have the turquoise, we have reds, we have a beautiful bronze color, we have greens. I'm absolutely in love with this mix. Here we have some flower tassels in this beautiful red and this gorgeous turquoise color. And look at this pretty reindeer. Oh my gosh, it's so adorable. Look at that, guys. Look how adorable it is. It has a loop on one of the antlers. Isn't it cute? We actually get 2 of them. So they would make gorgeous earrings. And we get some bead caps. And we get 4 of these. And here we have a couple of snow globe charms filled with pretty green little stars, it looks like. And we get a bunch of smaller bead caps in 2 colors, antique silver and antique gold. These will definitely come in handy. And here are the larger beads on my rod. As you can see, we have a couple of gorgeous rectangular faceted beads, and I love these disco ball beads, very sparkly. And here we have some lovely large rondelles in a pretty red color with an AB finish. I really love mixing turquoise with red. I think it's such a nice combination. Look at these gorgeous oval beads, aren't they nice? Here's some more rondelles, but in a turquoise color. And we have these other ones in a pretty red color. I love these. Such a pretty combination. I can't wait to make something with these. And here are the rest of them. We have some glass crackle beads here and some faceted cubes. And we have these lovely cone-shaped beads. As you can see, they do have a little bit of faceting on them. And some more rondelles in this beautiful turquoise color and some tiny cones in the red color. So these are very nice indeed. And finally, here we have a couple of bags with, it looks like crimp beads and some earwire hooks and a couple of charms. Let me open it up. As you can see, we have a couple of bronze colored Christmas bell charms, and they are two-sided, very pretty. And these are TerraCast oxidized brass bell charms. And here we have one lobster claw clasp and some earwire hooks. Here we have some crimp beads, and these are 2 by 2 millimeters, and they're gold filled crimp beads, so that means that they're higher quality than your average crimp bead, guys, okay? If you go looking for gold filled findings, you're going to find out that you're going to end up paying quite a bit. But it's worth it because they don't tarnish as much. So anyway, I'm very happy that they included these. So anyway, guys, that's it. That's the collection for the month of December, the Mystery Design Kit. And like I said before, the name of it is Retro Christmas. And I absolutely love all of these beads. I love the colors and the fact that they include stretch magic and beading wire and these high quality crimp beads. It really makes it worthwhile. So anyway, I'm going to get off camera now for a few minutes and look at these beads and see what I can come up with, and we'll come back and make something with them. Okay, I'm back. I played around with the beads a little bit and I came up with a necklace design, and these are the beads that we're going to be using. We're definitely going to be using these gorgeous drops. These are what inspired the necklace. I love the color and I love the shape, and we're actually going to be using 3 of these. We're also going to be using these beautiful champagne colored rondelles. I love the AB finish on these. They're so sparkly and they coordinate so perfectly with these drops. And for a splash of color, we're going to be using these gorgeous turquoise colored Diamond Turban beads. These are going to make the necklace very unique looking and very colorful. So let's go ahead and pick the beads from the Design Elements mix. So from this mix, I want to use some of these oval shaped turquoise colored beads. I think these are lovely, and we're going to use 2 of them. We're also going to use some bead caps on those oval beads. So let me pull out 4. And I definitely want to use these red rondelles to give it that Christmassy look. And we got 6 of them, so I'm going to use all 6. And then I want to use some of these cone-shaped beads, but I'm not going to use too many of these. I think I'm only going to use 2. And I do want to use these flower tassels because I think they're adorable. So I'm going to use the red one and this beautiful turquoise colored one. And that's it from this mix. I'll be using 4 of these beads, so let me pull them out. I don't know how many we're going to use of these rondelles, so I'll just keep them on the strand for now. And I have my beading wire in this gorgeous red color. I'm also going to be using the lobster claw clasp that came with the design kit. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start by assembling the focal, and I'm going to use these 3 drops and the soft flex beading wire. And we're going to cut ourselves 3 lengths. One of them is going to be 1.5 inches long, approximately. The second one is going to be about 2 inches long. And the third one is going to be about 2.5 inches long. And I'm also going to cut myself a little piece to use as a dummy wire, and I'll show you why in just a few seconds. Let me pull out some crimp beads. Now the reason we're using this piece of dummy wire is because we're going to be using these magical crimping pliers. And what these do is that they create a little bead with a crimp bead. So basically you put the crimp bead inside that little notch there, or that little well. You squeeze it and it makes a little round bead. So that means that you don't need a crimp cover because the little crimp bead looks really, really nice. Now, if you don't have this tool, you can still make this project. You're just going to have to use a regular set of crimping pliers, or you can use some chain nose pliers to crimp your crimp bead. But anyway, I'm going to be using these today, and in order for these to work properly, you need at least 2 strands of beading wire inside the crimp bead, okay? And since I'm going to be using single strands inside these drops, I'm going to need something to give the crimp bead a little grip. So I'm going to insert some dummy wire inside the crimp bead that I'm going to trim off later on, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that in a few moments. So let's go ahead and begin. So as you can see, I have 3 lengths of beading wire because my drops are going to hang at 3 different lengths. So let me go ahead and get the short length first. Thread on a crimp bead. Take my dummy piece of wire and stick it inside like this. Bring my crimp bead all the way down. I want it right on the edge there, okay, right at the very tip of the beading wire. And now you're going to get your pliers and you're going to stick that crimp bead inside that little well right in the middle. And now I'm going to give it a squeeze, just like this, okay. And if you'll notice, it has pressed down 4 corners of this crimp bead. I don't know if you guys can see that. Now in order to secure that, I need to turn it on its side and crimp it down again, and then continue to go around the bead until I get a nice round shape, and I'll show you in just a second. So I'm just crimping all the way around the bead, keeping it inside that well. And this is what you end up with. And it's very secure, okay, this is not going anywhere. As you can see, it's a nice round shape and it's very attractive and it looks just like a little bead. So now what I'm going to do is snip off the excess dummy wire. So I'm coming in really close as I can get to that bead to snip off the excess. And this is what you should end up with. Okay, so now we're going to thread on the drop. And as you can see, the crimp bead holds it in place so it doesn't slide off. Now I'm going to come to this end. I'm going to thread on another crimp bead. I'm going to take the tip now and thread it back through the crimp bead like this. So I end up with a little loop, okay? And you can adjust the size of the loop. I like to have the beading wire inside the crimp bead so I don't have to snip it, okay? As you can see, my beading wire is just barely poking out the side there, okay? That way I don't have to trim it. But you can have it extend further out and trim it. That's not a problem at all. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to place it inside the well of these crimping pliers, just like that, and give it a squeeze. So this is what we have. Turn it on its side, put it back in there, and continue to squeeze and go all the way around the bead. And just keep doing it until you get a nice round shape. And there you go. Isn't that cool? It's so easy. So that's one of them. And now I'm going to do the same thing with these other 2. So again, grab a wire, thread on a crimp bead, take your dummy wire and thread it through like this. Like I said, I like to have the wire right at the end of the bead so I don't have to trim it. You do have to be careful though. It's a little tricky. So now once again, I'm going to place it inside the little well like this and give it a squeeze. And then turn it on its side and continue to squeeze it until you get a nice round shape. So if you're using regular crimping pliers, you can still do this. It's just that you won't have a nice round shape like this. You'll end up with either a regular crimped bead or a flat bead. So I'm just going around until it's nice and round. And there you go. Isn't that cool? I love this tool, I really do. So now I'm going to trim off my dummy wire. So now I'm going to thread on one of the drops, bring it down, thread on a crimp bead, take the end, thread it back through the crimp bead, go ahead and adjust your loop until you get the right size loop, And now we'll do the same thing again. We're going to put it inside the little well like this and give it a squeeze. And now turn it on its side and squeeze it again, and just keep squeezing all the way around the bead. You do want to make sure that you keep it centered inside that well, because if you don't, it might crush your bead, or it may deform the roundness of the bead. But as long as you keep it centered inside that well, you should be okay. All right, so there it is. And now I'm going to trim off the excess. There's a little bit of excess beading wire here. And here's my second drop. Let me go ahead and finish the third one. So here are my 3 drops. Now I'm going to cut myself a piece of beading wire that's about 22 inches long. My necklace is going to be approximately 18 inches. Okay, so you need to take that into account. So however long you want your necklace, keep in mind that you're going to need an additional 1.5 to 2 inches of beading wire at the end of each strand in order to do the crimping. Okay, if you're advanced, you could probably get away with less. But if you're a beginner, you definitely want to give yourself enough room, okay? You want to give yourself enough beading wire. Like I said, I'm going to cut myself a piece that's 22 inches long. Now I don't have any fancy bead stoppers, but I have these binder clips that I'm going to use to prevent my beads from sliding off the strand. And I'm going to start by threading on the focal, which are these beads here. And let me see how this looks. That looks pretty nice. Now on either side of these beads, I'm going to put some of these rondelles. So let me thread 3 on this side. Bring it down. And I'm going to thread 3 on the other side. Just like that. That looks really cute. And now I'm going to switch over to this color here. And I think I'm going to thread on, let's see what 3 looks like. Bring it down. I think I'm going to thread on an additional 2. So 5 of these looks much better than just 3. I like the length. Let me go ahead and thread the other side to see what it looks like. That's 4. And this is 5. That looks really, really cute. And now I think I'm going to switch to this color here. So I'm going to thread one of these on. Okay, and then a bead cap. And one of these oval beads. And another bead cap. And another one of these turquoise colored beads. Diamond shaped beads. That looks really, really cute. I like that. I think I'm going to thread some more of these orange colored rondelles, or champagne colored, I should say. So let me thread on 5. And that looks really, really cute. I like that. And then to finish this side, I'm going to thread on one of these red cones, tiny beads. So now let me go ahead and do this side. And this is what we have so far. Isn't that adorable? So now I'm going to go to the mirror and hold this up to my chest and see if I need to add more length, but I think I want to keep it kind of short, and the rest is just going to be beading wire. It's such a pretty color that, you know, I definitely want to show the beading wire. It's going to be exposed beading wire. So let me go ahead and go to the mirror and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I think I'm going to keep it like this. I'm not going to add anything else. So now I'm going to bring it to the center of my beading wire. Let me go ahead and put my clip down here so the beads don't move. And I'm going to crimp off this side. So here's a crimp bead and here's my little extra piece of beading wire. I'm going to thread on a crimp bead, bring it down, and insert the dummy wire. And I have the dummy beading wire in line with the edge of the crimp bead, okay, so I don't have to trim it. So now I'm going to come in here and go ahead and form my little bead. Turn it on its side. And I'm going to continue to crimp around until I get a nice round shape, just like before. So that looks pretty good. It's nice and round. Let me go ahead and trim off the dummy wire. Make sure I get real close. And this is what it looks like. Isn't that adorable? Now I'm going to do the other side the same way. So bring your beads together, but you don't want them too tight. You want some flexibility, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and insert the dummy wire. And I think I'm going to push it all the way out so I can see it this time, okay? And that way I can take out any slack if I see any slack. And now let me go ahead and form a little bead. And now let me go ahead and trim the excess. So now these beads are secured and they're not going to move around. Now these tassels are very easy to attach, okay? If you look at the loop, it's actually an open loop. Okay, let me just pull it out and show you. Can you guys see that? So you can actually pull it and open it just like that. And now I'm going to attach it to one of the loops of these drops. And I think I'm going to attach it to this one here, like this. And you do want to make sure that you close it very, very well. You don't want any gaps at all, okay? Because you don't want this tassel coming off this loop. So that's that one. And now let me go ahead and do the same thing with the turquoise colored one. Open up the loop like this. And I think I'm going to attach it to this loop here now. And close it up. So this is what we have so far. Okay, isn't that adorable? I love it. It's so cute. So now all we have to do is attach the clasp and make a loop on the other side. Now this is the front of the necklace. I made sure that I attached the tassels on this side of the loops, okay? So you do need to pay attention to that. Make sure that you have them on the front. You don't want a tassel on the back and one on the front because you don't want these tassels up against your chest. You want them away from your chest. Okay, so if this is the front, then this is the right side and this is where the clasp is going to go. Let me go ahead and get some more crimp beads. Now before we attach the clasp and form a loop, we do need to measure it, okay? So the beaded portion is about 7 3/4 of an inch, and I want my necklace to be approximately 18 inches. So I think what I'll do is give myself 5 inches on either side, okay? So let me go ahead and measure 5 inches. So I think I'll make my necklace just a little bit longer than 18 inches, and I'll measure a length that's about 6 inches, okay, on either side of the beaded portion. So I'm just going to eyeball it, okay? And keep my thumb right there on that spot. Take my crimp bead, thread it on and take it down to where my thumb is. Take the clasp now and thread it onto the beading wire. Take the end of the beading wire and thread it through the crimp bead. Bring it down. Let me just measure it to make sure that I have the correct length. That's about right. Let me shorten this loop a little bit. Okay, so this is what I have. And you do want the beading wire to sit parallel inside that bead, even though it's going to be compressed. It's not critical, but it's just good practice. So here we go. Turn it on its side and continue to go around the bead, just like I've done before. So that looks really nice. And once again, I'm going to snip off the excess. And this is what we have. Isn't that nice? All right, so now we want to make sure that the other length is going to be exactly the same, okay? So I'm going to line up my beading wire. I'm putting my thumb right there in line with this crimp bead. Thread on a crimp bead, bring it down, take the end now and thread it back through that crimp bead. Bring it down so it's in line with the other one, okay? And now I'm going to shorten my loop. So that looks pretty good. And now let me go ahead and crimp this one. And that looks nice and round. Snip off the excess beading wire. And if I know I'm going to be making more projects, I don't throw away these pieces. I keep them so that I can use them as dummy wires. Now I've done projects before with exposed beading wire, but I've never done one with the exposed beading wire by the clasp. And I've never attached a clasp without attaching a jump ring, so that's a first for me. But I've been told that this beading wire is very strong and it'll withstand wear and tear. And when you think about it, a jump ring has an opening, so you always run the risk of beading wire sliding through the opening. And with this method, you don't have to worry about it. So anyway, this is a first for me, and I think it turned out really nice. So anyway, guys, that's the finished necklace. I think it looks beautiful. I love the exposed wire because it makes it look really, really dainty. And the splash of color is gorgeous. The turquoise with the beautiful champagne rondelles. And I love the red because it looks very Christmassy, very festive. And of course, I love these drops. And it's a very unique looking necklace for sure. But it looks even better on, so let me go ahead and put this necklace on and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Well, I love colorful necklaces, and one of the ways to wear colorful necklaces is to wear something that's less colorful, like the top that I have on today. But I can see this necklace with a red top, a green top, or even a black top. The combination of turquoise and red to me is so magical. I absolutely love it. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Have a happy holiday season if I don't see you again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.